Court does call the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Ryan Michael Carter Price.
As spelled this week. Stephanie, hand on that. Price, okay, thank you.
Ryan Carter Price. All right, thank you. Let me see. All right, just give me time. Set for preliminary examination. Are we ready to proceed?
Yeah, ready.
You may call your first witness.
And we're going to call Logan, correct?
All
right, pause right here. This is a preliminary examination, which means the judge isn't deciding guilt yet. They're deciding whether there's enough evidence to even move this case forward. Think of it as the legal gatekeeper moment. Low bar for the prosecution, but high stakes for the defendant.
Please come forward to be sworn.
Please take a seat, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to affirm the testimony about to give to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, first and last name for the record, please.
Absolutely correct. Logan L.G.A.M. Correct. B.A.R.R.A.T.D.
Gotcha. You may inquire.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. How are you employed?
Michigan University Police Department.
In what capacity?
Police officer.
How long have you been in that position?
Since February of this year.
Have you have prior employment experience as a police officer?
Yes.
And where were you a police officer before?
Burlington, Vermont.
How long were you a police officer in Burlington, Vermont?
Approximately 2 years.
Do you have prior law enforcement experience before that?
Yeah.
Were you employed with the Eastern Michigan University Police Department on July 27th, 2025?
Yes.
What shift were you working that day? You don't recall. Were you working around 1900 hours?
Yes.
What time is that? If non-military time, what time is that? All right. Did you come into contact with anybody who's currently in the courtroom on that date in the course of your shift?
Yes.
Who did you come into contact with?
Ryan Carter.
Do you see the person you know to be Ryan Carter Price in the courtroom?
Yes.
Can you identify him for me based on where he's sitting and what he's wearing?
He's beyond the already. Pretty long sleeve top, white undershirt.
This part matters more than it sounds. The officer is locking in time, location, and identification, the holy trinity for establishing probable cause. Miss one detail here and the defense gets room to maneuver. Question for you, have you noticed how many times the officer hesitates or asks for clarification already?
Your Honor, may the record reflect when they identify the defendant?
Record shows will reflect without objection.
On July 27th, around 1944 hours, what were you doing on your shift?
Patrol.
And when you are performing a routine patrol, are you in any kind of vehicle?
Yes, ma'am. Police patrol vehicle.
What does it mean to be a fully marked vehicle?
Has vehicle police identifiers, light bar.
Where were you when you were conducting this routine patrol?
Price Street in the city of Ypsilanti.
Is that in Washtenaw County?
Yes.
State of Michigan?
Yes.
What did you observe when you were patrolling on Rice Street in the city of Ypsilanti around 1944 hours on July 27th, 2025?
Observed a 2011 Chevrolet Impala bearing Michigan registration 5 UPC 55. Pull out in front of me with a...
Here's the legal trigger point. No insurance plus registration issue equals lawful reason to initiate a traffic stop. But and this is key, everything that follows must stay within constitutional bounds. One misstep and the entire stop can unravel fast.
Right, tail light, covered in red duct tape.
What did you do next?
I went to lean and took care of safe query on my patrol vehicle computer.
You looked at the plate?
Yes, sir.
What did you learn about that vehicle from looking up the plate?
There's no automobile insurance and it was registered to Ryan Carter Price.
What happened next?
I observed the Secretary of State photographic query for the RO, Ryan Carter Price. Then I subsequently performed a motor vehicle stop.
When you started to perform your traffic stop, what happened?
The vehicle and operator initially pulled over.
After the vehicle pulled over, what did you do?
I made contact with the operator on the passenger side and was unsuccessful.
When you say you attempted to make contact on the passenger side, do you mean you went to the passenger side to make contact with the operator?
Yes, sir.
How many occupants were in the vehicle?
One.
Where was that person seating?
Operator seat.
And who was that person?
Ryan.
The defendant?
Yes, sir.
What happened when you went up to the passenger side of the vehicle to make contact with the driver, the defendant?
He was unwilling to roll down his windows to facilitate a conversation.
Did he have it open at all for you?
No.
And when you made contact with him at the passenger side, what were you asking him for?
That's what I was only asking him to roll down the window so we could have a conversation and discuss the traffic stop.
Did he?
Yeah.
What happened next?
I moved to the driver's side.
And what happened when you got to the driver's side?
I asked him to roll down his operator window because he had their rear passenger window down, maybe a third of the way. He was unwilling to comply with that.
This is where things escalate hard. Ordering someone out of a vehicle is legally permitted after a lawful stop, but it's also the moment juries scrutinize the officer's tone, timing, and justification. Was this about safety or frustration? That distinction matters.
And I asked him, I identified myself as an East Michigan University Police Department police officer, gave him the reason for the stop, and asked him for his driver documentation.
What does the driver documentation include?
His license, insurance, and registration.
Did he provide those materials to you? What happened?
He told me why my stop was unjustifiable.
After he told you why your stop was not justified, what happened after that?
I didn't making any effort to acquire the documentation I requested, and due to his lack of compliance up to that point, I ordered him out of the vehicle.
Did he exit the vehicle?
No.
What did he do?
He continued to ramble, something to the effect I don't recall, so I issued a second verbal order to exit the vehicle.
What did he say after you gave him a second order to exit the vehicle?
He continued rambling about the stop.
After that, did you say or do anything else?
No, he started to reach for the gear shifter of his motor vehicle.
How do you know he was reaching for the gear shifter?
I watched him start with his right arm or right hand closer to the gear shifter.
What happened when he got his hand on the gear shifter?
He put
What happened next?
on the traffic stop.
After he drove away from the traffic stop, do you recall what road he was operating on?
Yes, himself down on River Street.
Do you know the speed limit on River Street?
Close to this 25 miles per hour.
25 miles per hour. After he fled the traffic stop on River Street, what did you do?
I got back in my patrol vehicle to maintain a visual on him.
Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
How?
I attempted to catch up to him, but he was operating at too high a rate of speed.
Did you call out that you were pursuing him?
Yes.
Did anyone come to help?
Unbeknownst to me at the time, yes, there was an Islamic sergeant behind me.
And eventually, were you able to locate the defendant in the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
What happened? What happened after he fled and you were basically chasing him?
During that period of
Yeah.
time,
Let's start with the chase. What happened after he took off and you were following him?
he performed a new vehicle U-turn from southbound on River Street to northbound on River Street. And he pursued a hybrid of great speed to a Dairy Queen parking lot. It was a very hot summer day, and I took pedestrian traffic throughout that parking lot.
So as he's driving through the Dairy Queen parking lot, there's people in that parking lot?
I observed, yeah, some people.
What happened next?
He pulled out onto East Michigan Ave, heading eastbound at a continued high rate of speed.
At any point, did you activate your sirens?
Yeah,
Why?
to clear the intersection of River Street and East Michigan.
What happened after you activated your sirens and he was going on East Michigan Avenue?
He continued to flee from it.
Did he ever stop?
Yeah.
When did the vehicle come to arrest?
For a The previous question, I mean, he did eventually stop, yes.
How far did he go before he stopped? How much further did he go after he got onto East Michigan Avenue?
He went on 3 additional streets,
What were those streets?
Prospect Street, Moss Street, and Grove Street.
When did he stop, or where did he stop is a better question.
The red line on Grove Street.
When he got to the red line on Grove Street, what happened next?
He boxed himself in and left himself nowhere to go due to environmental factors and a metal fence in front of him. So I began to pull up behind him.
Why would you pull up behind him?
He had committed a criminal.
Let be very clear, once vehicles are used this way, we're no longer talking about traffic violations, we're talking about potential felony conduct. From a legal standpoint, this moment redefines the entire encounter. The stakes just exploded for everyone involved.
Were you attempting to stop, like box him in so he couldn't drive away?
Yes.
What happened after you pulled up behind him?
He went for the metal fence and I went to reposition myself appropriately.
Let me be clear. When you say he went toward the metal fence, was he still operating the vehicle at this time, or had he exited the vehicle?
He was operating, yes, ma'am.
So as he's moving the vehicle towards the fence, what do you do?
I come around from a different side of this vehicle.
What happens next?
He put his vehicle into reverse and ran in front of my vehicle.
Hearing someone scream, "Kill me" or "Shoot me" isn't just dramatic, it introduces serious questions about mental state, use of force, and officer response. This is where cases stop being black and white and start living in the gray. Do you think law enforcement handled this as a crisis or as a threat?
After he rammed his vehicle into the front of your patrol vehicle, what happened next?
He attempted to utilize the space in front of him to go forward again.
So he goes to move the car forward?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened next?
After his reverse lights come back on again and knew he was about to ram me a second time.
Did he?
Yes.
Where did,
I suppose I ran him to prevent him from ramming me a secondary time.
how did you do that?
After I knew he was going to hit me a second ago, I moved my vehicle forward into him.
To decrease that distance?
Yes. Accelerate the vehicle.
After the second reversing, what happened next?
He immediately exited the vehicle, started closing all distance between us before I even was able to exit my vehicle, and he was screaming irately.
What was he screaming, if you recall?
Some of what I recall was to the effect of kill me, shoot me, tase me.
What did you do when he was closing the distance between the two of you, screaming those things?
I drew my firearm.
Did you exit your vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
When you drew your firearm and exited your vehicle, what happened next?
I began issuing verbal commands.
What were you telling him to do?
To the effect of get on the ground.
Were you eventually able to take him into custody?
Yes.
At any point, did you have to, did you reholster your firearm and get out your taser?
Yes, ma'am.
When did that happen?
After, as I recall, he eventually got on his knees and I created space between us. So I switched over to my taser.
Yes.
Officer Perrette, this Red Lion, where is that located?
I don't know the exact.
It's in?
Cross-examination.
Yeah. So Officer Pratt, Taking you back to the date in question, you said during your testimony that this was around 7:44 a.m. or p.m. And what was the condition outside at that time?
I don't recall the exact one. Daylight, dry.
And my client, when you pulled in behind Mr. Carter Price, did you see where he was coming from?
Initially,
Yes.
yes,
And where was that?
he was coming from the parking lot off of Rice Street.
And what is that parking lot attached to?
Rice Street.
I understand that. Is it a parking lot for a hotel, for a 7-Eleven? Is it-
Dedicated purpose.
Okay.
Public purpose facility.
And he comes out of the parking lot. You pull directly behind him immediately from exiting the parking lot?
I don't pull behind him at all. I pull in front of him.
Okay, so he pulls in front of you. And this is as he's exiting the parking lot.
Yes.
Okay, so which way does he turn coming out of the parking lot?
Right.
And as he turns right, your vehicle is parked facing him?
Not for us at all. I'm in motion.
Okay, so you're on the road driving.
Yes.
Were you at a stoplight?
No.
So did he cut you off?
No.
Okay, so he just pulls out in front of you. Everything seems fine except for the fact that he has a red tape on the brake light.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Equipment.
Okay, and at which point, because of that, you go ahead and just run his plate?
Yes.
Okay, so you pull him over eventually, correct?
Yes.
And then you pull him over because of these two infractions. True?
Yeah, I pulled him with a problem, lack of automobile insurance and defective.
Okay, so you pull him over for those reasons. You approach going to which side first, the driver's side or passenger side?
Passenger.
And when you get over to the passenger side, he rolls his window down.
Yeah, he does.
Okay, and what do you do when he doesn't roll that window down?
I switched to the driver's side.
Okay, when he comes to the driver's side, does he roll his window down?
Yeah.
Okay, and in talking to you, do you come to learn that his windows are broken? Does he tell you?
His operator side window, solely his window, he claims is broken, yes.
Okay, so he says that's broken. What do you do once you find out that that's broken?
I asked him for his driver documentation
From the passenger window.
from the rear operator side window, which he has down about a third of the way.
Okay, so he's able to roll down that window about a third of the way. Okay.
I don't know if he did roll it down. It was down a third of the way though.
Okay, so it's rolled down a third of the way. And so you use that window now to talk to him.
To attempt to, yes.
Okay, and he does talk to you.
He
True?
talks at.
Okay, he talks at you. And while he's talking at you, he's questioning what's going on, correct?
He's not questioning it, no. He's demanding that my stuff under title.
Okay, so you don't ever tell him why you pulled him over?
No, I hated my holding over.
Okay. And so he's talking to you and he's telling you why he thinks that's inappropriate. What is he telling you about that?
I don't recall the exact specific.
Okay. And so he's telling you that he believes the stop is inappropriate. At this point, because he won't roll down his window all the way, is there some law that says he has to roll the window down all the way? To your knowledge?
That's my knowledge.
Okay. So he won't roll the window down all the way. And at which point you indicate you start to become concerned because he doesn't like being stopped, correct?
With additional factors, that is a reason for concern, yes.
Okay. And so at some point you ask him to step out of the car.